We're live. Hello, everyone. So welcome everybody to the Graceling live show for the Graceling along. We're just so excited to all be here. And basically, we'll just start by presenting ourselves briefly. So my name is Sarah. I'm from the channel Sarah the Dreamer. Obviously, you're on my channel.
Oh, okay, me.
Kristin.
No, okay, well, I didn't know if you were done. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm Kristin. I'm from the other Kristin that reads. Sarah, this was all Sarah's idea, and I was just here to make jokes along the way while she did all the organizing. And, yep, that's it.
Hi, I'm Carrie. I'm from Caring for Books. I'm here because this is my favorite book, and obviously I wasn't going to miss a chance to talk about it, so.
Amazing.
Hello, I'm Margaret. I'm from the channel The Word Nerd, as you can see in my title, and I talk about books and writing, and this is my second time reading Graceling. I read it first about 10 years ago, so it was interesting.
Ooh.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sohaila. I'm a random participant with no YouTube.
Is this your YouTube debut?
It is.
I think it is. Wow. We love it.
Yeah, I'm here because I'm a huge fan of Graceling. I really see myself in Kata. I also first read it like a decade ago. It's my second read. Very exciting to be here.
Yay.
Hi, my name's Chrissy from Chrissy's Soul. I have a YouTube channel. I've deleted pretty much everything. I'm restarting in the new year. I actually read Graceling at the beginning of 2020, but 2020 was a mess, so I wanted to reread it. So that's why I joined it.
Everything is made better in 2020 by rereading Graceling, let's be honest.
Yes, it is.
Yep. It's what saved 2020 for all of us.
Yes, very much.
Honestly, yeah.
I don't know, my neighbors might think I'm a little crazy now because I was walking down the street listening to it at a point where, like, you couldn't not be laughing at what was going down.
Oh my god, I know.
Another white woman walks down the streets of Florida cackling herself.
Cackling as I'm walking, and I'm like, there are people. I just passed people.
Oh, no.
I'm going to get arrested.
In Florida, that's completely normal. I can do that here every day.
I mean, that's like my life. Whenever I listen to an audiobook, I'm just laughing out loud in public like a crazy woman in the metro, everywhere.
It's okay. I definitely sang to Briar on our walk yesterday.
Well, okay, that's I feel less crazy now.
Yeah.
I have definitely scared the bejesus out of people because when I was listening to On the Come Up, because something happened, like there was a scene with the family, and it was so funny. I couldn't not laugh, and there was a woman like 20 feet ahead of me, and I'm like, she's like.
The best is being on a phone call and like being on an angry phone call when there's a child nearby and then swearing and then watching the parent go, that's my favorite.
Oh my god.
I'd have to mute myself.
I try not to swear when there are children around.
I try to swear.
I don't care.
Kristin.
I work at a preschool, so I was walking up to the school with this playing, and the parents are like, what are you listening to? And I'm like, you should listen to this. Not with your kids around, but you should listen to this.
I mean,
That's fair.
I was wondering. Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Sorry. It's off topic, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was wondering because we already spoke a little bit about it. We already mentioned it a little bit, but we all already read this book. So, Chrissy, you said that you read it in 2020. Margaret, you said you read it like 10 years ago. Carrie, Kristin, Sohaila, when was the last time that you read Graceling?
June.
June. That's great.
I've read it 12 times.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I read it when it came out in 2008. And, the big reveal that we'll get to in the spoilery part, I remember distinctly sitting at lunch in high school. I was a freshman. And reading the part, and I stood up and squealed in the middle of our cafeteria.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was
that's
just
a mood.
so excited. And my friends all looked at me like I was insane. I was like, no, you don't understand. You have to read the book. Because this and I don't, and you read. So I've reread it almost every year since then.
I can remember.
Things I can think of that could be a big reveal right now.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, which one was it?
Can't decide which
There's
one you're
so many.
When we get to spoilers.
Yes, because there's
Okay,
so many
okay.
good like
Where is-
twists in this book. So, but yeah,
Wow.
Christine, you read it like when it came out, or a little bit later?
So I read it probably between the ages of 11 and 14 because
Same.
because it came out when I turned 11. But I definitely don't remember reading it towards the end of high school. So it was either like grade 8 or the beginning of high school.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it was sometime in there, and I remember reading them all back to back really quickly.
Me too.
And then, like, I really like, this is gonna sound like confirmation bias or something, but I really only remember Poe from like all three of them. Like, I know there are 3 books, I know there are other characters, but I remember the plant, birth control, and Poe. That's what I remember. I was like, there are plants for that, like.
There actually
teenage
are.
brain.
The only important
Where can I
part.
find this kingdom?
Yeah, I want to move here.
Let's
By
go.
the way, you all saying you read this in middle school and high school is making me feel really old, because even when it came out, I would have been done with my bachelor's degree.
Oh wow.
So
I'm not the youngest anymore.
I was
Oh
4
my
years out of my bachelor degree. I was wrong. It's not been a decade. It's only been 6 years because I read it from February 10th to February 12th, 2014.
Okay,
Wow.
see, I read it before I had Goodreads, so I
Yeah,
have no
me
idea.
too.
I was 4 years after my bachelor's degree.
Okay.
So-
I don't feel so old now.
You're not the only.
Oh my god. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Well, who's your favorite character? We all know who's Christine's favorite character is. We don't. It's fine. We don't need to hear about it. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, we want to hear you squeal about him. But yeah, who's your favorite character? The other people. I'm curious. Do you have one?
Katza.
Yes. Katza.
Yeah, Katza probably is mine.
Yeah.
Cats are bitter blue.
Katza's the one I love most.
Bitter blue.
Poe's the one I would fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yeah.
I think I would say like Poe's the one I love most because he's like most endearing, but Katza's definitely like I learned a lot.
She's such
Okay.
a queen. She's such a queen.
Emma. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Chrissy? Who's your favorite character?
I would say Poe, but as when our little talks, as you could tell, I like get into, but we'll get into that later. It's like Poe would have to be my favorite.
Oh, Gideon.
I always pronounced it Jidden. Like in my brain, it's always been Jidden. So like you're saying Gideon, and I'm like, who?
It's because you come
That's what
from
the
a language
audiobook
where people
says.
speak nicely.
It's the French. It's the French coming through.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's that. It's because of that. But it's Gideon, really?
Yeah.
Gideon.
The audiobook. What's funny is I kept saying I kept typing Gideon, and I was like, that's not his name.
Okay, but I get that though because I kind of feel like with some of the names, she like took names and then just made them
Removed
fantasy.
letters.
She was like,
Yeah.
"How can we make Gideon weirder?"
This is not a good start. Let's go worse.
Yeah.
What was I reading that was just like, I was just reading something that felt like it had a similar, like, I can't remember. I don't know what books I'm reading, so okay.
That's kind of how I feel about the Hunger Games too, where all like there's some Roman names and then some word vomit. That's what the names are in that.
Where did
Okay,
Pita
Dale,
come
that's
from? Like,
normal. Primrose, sure. Pita bread, like I don't know.
Pita bread.
It had to be because his parents were bakers. So I mean,
Maybe
This
they
is
forgot
true.
how to spell PETA by that point.
You have. I mean, you have to stay with the team.
It's so far in the past.
Oh my god.
Can we talk about how what a weird name Bitter Blue is for like a child or like anyone?
Like-
but like
I actually really like it.
I actually really
Yeah, I
like
love it.
I
do,
think
it's
I
just
would-
one of those, like, even.
I am not
I
a
mean,
fan.
her grandfather's T-Lif, so I guess I can't really
Yeah.
be
I mean,
surprised. but
Poe
still.
is gleaming Grandemalion, so I think
Yeah,
I
I was
have
like-
names. Let's go with Poe.
Let's just say
Reading
let's
Grand
just say
Million.
they have like very extravagant names.
They
Let's
do.
just say that.
I
Deleted.
forgot that Poe wasn't his actual name.
Me
I
too.
love that part every time I read the book.
I can
Reading Grand Million.
definitely, I can definitely tell you guys that when I first read this book as a child, I was like, isn't the Poe the name of the panda from Kung Fu Panda? And I was like, that's not going to be hot. And then I read it and he was hot anyways.
You know what I associated that with the Teletubbies.
Yeah. See, Poe, he had a lot to overcome from a really unsexy name.
Yes. But he did
I
it.
think
Great.
it was a good conclusion.
Yeah.
The result was pretty great.
Oh my god. Okay. I think that like I want to ask you about like your favorite parts and your favorite quotes and all of that, but I feel like that's more going to be like towards the spoiler section. So I think, is there something else that you want to discuss?
I was gonna say my favorite quote is not a spoiler.
Okay.
Drop it.
Probably it won't make any sense. I see you're still ruining the horses.
Yes. Wait, but they have it in the book?
Oh my god, I know. We'll talk about the context, but yes, I agree. I read this part this morning and screamed. But yeah.
I didn't have the time to emotionally process them the way that I usually do. So I'm having to just like plow through them. But that one, I was just like, oh, I can't. Too much.
Yeah, it's really
I feel
emotional.
similarly.
Yeah.
I want to take the time to digest, but I did not.
Those kinds of moments are my favorite moments. Like I live for them. When you do that, and then we get that moment, and I
know.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's better than a sex scene for me.
It is.
It was.
It is. Absolutely, 100%. I'm wondering what was your rating for the book? How many stars did you give it?
I don't.
4.5.
I still need to think on that one because I'm torn between like 5 because I enjoyed it so much. But there were places like with the dialogue that I think she does really good with description. She does really good with like the pacing and the complexity of her plot. But the dialogue was just like, we could have worked a little more on that.
Oh my god, the dialogue is like my favorite part.
That's
Exactly.
interesting.
That's really the sarcasm in this book.
The reason that I didn't give it 5 stars, that's interesting that you say the pacing, because I didn't like the pacing. That was my only problem with it. I thought the pacing was like this. I felt that the second act was really long, and then the end, like the third act, didn't feel like super complete. But that was my only thing.
The only part I didn't like. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sarah. Oh, I was gonna say, for me, like the fact that she kept like looking at it from a writer's standpoint, like she kept being like, okay, this is the plan, this is going to do that. And the way she would on its head was just so clever to me. Mm-hmm. Like just looking at like she continually like had that like when authors are trying to surprise their audience and trying to keep going without making it boring and what everything the audience expects. Like she never pulled one of those things where it was like that came out of thin air, that makes no sense. She did it in such a way that of course that's what happened, but it's not what I was thinking would happen. It was just really well done as she kept building and just putting her characters through the ringer. So
absolutely.
Literally, think of some characters that have had a worse time than like fucking Poe and Bitter Blue. Like,
yeah,
I know, poor Bitter Blue.
Oh my god, she's like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Okay,
Katza was having a hard time too, but she didn't even notice it. Like everyone's like, Katza, what's wrong with you? And she's just like, I'm fine, guys.
Okay, but can you imagine doing all that except you can't physically feel tired? She's fine, okay? She's fucking fine.
Yeah, I know.
She's fine.
It's Bitter Blue getting dragged through the mountains that I'm worried about.
Christine, don't spoil it.
I mean, I'm worried for Katza emotionally. Like,
concerned
from that regard.
She needs a good sob and like a good cuddle section or something. Yeah, she needs therapy.
Definitely,
desperately.
I mean, they all do, but that's very Oh, that's.
I was gonna say if I was gonna give it less than 5 stars, which I can't give it less than 5 stars, would be because of the climactic scene. I think it happened too fast, too abruptly. you could see it coming, but yet you couldn't.
Mm.
I would agree
And I
with
think
that.
I think it could have been done in a longer, more drawn out way than here. Boom.
Yeah.
What just
But-
happened?
Love that.
At the same time, I kind of like that. I kind of like
I
that.
know,
It's
like,
just like
Could
Yeah,
I don't
it
see how
went very
you've
well.
done it and still have Katza be successful, considering what was against her in that. Also,
Yeah,
it was
true.
half romantic the reason that happened. So obviously, I'm fine.
yeah. Well, fine. Let's
Sure.
pretend.
Literally, I was just thinking about it and I got really emotional. I was like, oh
No. So I think we should jump into spoilers because there are so many things that we're like talking around,
Mhm.
and I feel like we just have to dive into it because
no. It has been out for 12 years.
I know.
Like,
But
if you don't know, that's your personal problem. At this
Yeah,
point.
like this is a
If
mistake
you,
that was
no. Let's be real. If you don't know,
It is.
stop the live stream and go read the book.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll come back later. Give it a pause.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Just go read the
See ya,
book.
Mary. Mary, read the book and then come back.
That's right. There are
Yeah,
people.
Mary.
There are people in the stream.
Yeah, there are a couple of people. Oh my God, Christine. Words of wisdom right here.
Words of wisdom. Yeah, my screaming.
Read it.
Look, Mary has made the right choice, clearly.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right. So,
And if you don't
Spoiler
like this
time.
one, Fire is a very different book, so you should read that
True.
one too.
true.
So is
Fire.
Villager.
I see. I remember all the things I remember from Fire are like the themes discussed
Yeah.
and not the actual plot points.
I
I have
can't
no
wait.
idea what the plot is.
I remember colorful hair. Full stop.
I
Yes.
remember
Colorful hair.
Fire better than I remember Graceling. Like Graceling, I remembered the scene where Poe falls. We're in the spoiler
Yeah,
section,
we're in
right?
spoilers.
Okay.
We're good.
I remember the scene where Poe falls, and I remembered the confrontation in the throne room that I remember that like it happened.
Mhm.
But
Oh
I
my
couldn't-
God.
until I started reading, I couldn't remember very much of what actually had happened, which is, I think, partly because I listened to it as an audiobook, and when I pulled it up on the audiobook, I started listening to it this morning. I was like, oh, this is why I don't remember anything of the book. I hate this narrator.
Oh no.
That's
Like,
funny.
I never listened to the audiobook.
Yeah, it's a full
Now,
cast.
was yours full cast, right? Your audiobook?
Yeah. It was a full
What?
cast audio.
It's good.
Tell
Yeah.
me about Poe's voice.
It's amazing.
It's not bad. I like his voice.
Yeah.
The fact that they used a male narrator for an 18-year-old girl kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And also, like, he is not my favorite narrator that I've ever read. Now, the way they did the voices was fantastic.
Mhm.
Wait. How? Okay, you mean like not the dialogue? I thought you
Yeah,
were
not
saying that like
Yeah.
Katza was like. I was like,
What
wait,
the
what?
hell?
Threw me off. But yeah, it's a guy who's narrating. And then for all of
Oh.
Katz's dialogue and thoughts, they do have someone who's playing her.
Oh,
I
but
would
why
have chosen someone else to narrate the book and also to be Katz's voice.
Oh,
I
wait
thought
a minute,
Poe's voice was
Margaret.
Voice of the
good,
book feminine?
but-
The omnipotent voice of this world's God must be a man because
Why not?
the
I mean, the author is a woman.
it must be because a normal voice is a male voice. Females are abnormal.
Obviously, the male voice is the default.
Yeah, yes, that's in every situation we must default to male.
I'm gonna value the story more when a man explains it.
Exactly.
Yes. We can't
The
possibly.
themes of the women overcoming trauma put onto them by males has nothing to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Gender-based violence, not a factor here.
No. The first line of the book literally isn't about how sick everybody is of men ruling his shit poorly.
Oh my
Like, that's-
God! Oh my God! Can we talk about how incompetent they all are?
Okay.
Jesus
Oh
Christ!
my God.
Like,
Except,
Wilda.
but wait,
First of all,
I
Wilda's not
acknowledge
competent.
that
I
they're
love
all
Lore.
evil.
Stop talking at the
Exactly.
same time. Oh my God!
Okay.
One at a time. Okay.
Okay.
Christine.
Christine.
Okay, so yes, incompetent, most of them, sure. However, fully convinced that Lek can, like, teleport. How the hell did he beat her to freaking wherever he was going. Listen, he had to look for her. She was ahead of him. She freaking grappling hooked over the mountain. How did he beat her? Incompetent? No. Evil? Yes. But I'm like, okay, he can actually fly. Like,
But she did mention that Poe could have got there before her too, so she must have been on the water for a long time.
True.
Well, not just that, but you have to think about the fact that it took weeks. Christy, would you stop? It took them weeks to cross the mountains, and then they also had to travel on foot. So if he was able to leave from a port, which they weren't able to do, from a port in Muncie, he would have been able to get there faster, depending on what.
So I'm sitting there like
that kind of thing. So yeah.
Also, are we under the impression he's like familiar with this trek?
With this track?
And also, he went straight there. He sent his men everywhere else.
Yeah.
He must have been somewhat familiar because he married her somehow, and there would have been like a process of like marrying, like coming to meet her and being like, "Give me your woman to wed."
Okay. You mean Roar's sisters? Yeah, for sure. Oh my god.
Her.
And he knew Poe was with him, so he probably like the logic tracks. So it's possible.
Yeah.
He definitely had more like the resources to be a smarter person.
Yeah,
I didn't expect it though for that reason. I was like, okay, is he Glimmer? Like, what happened?
and everything goes back to Glimmer.
Obviously, always. All right.
Now,
so
what about the reason he was after little girls? We never got that.
For fucking
not explicitly.
Yeah,
it was heavily implied.
But we got that he likes to beat little animals, and then the next thing was she said that the girl showed up with like marks on her face.
Yeah.
Kind of tracks.
If you listen to it, it says she showed up walking funny, which implies that he had raped her before.
Oh, okay, that's true. Yeah.
So it's
so then we had two of them in this book because that's why Katza killed the first dude she killed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your cousin.
Okay.
Oh my god! I didn't even think about that full circle aspect. Whoa.
Yeah. That's
cool.
Yeah, she does great bringing everything full circle. The horses the whole time, the whole kill the cousin and then Lek. Like it's great. I love it. The horses though.
And then when you read Bitter Blue and you learn about all of the other terrible things and all of the manipulation that was going on, you're like, but we're not going to talk about Bitter Blue, obviously, because that's the third book.
Can we talk about how much more I appreciated this, reading this, having read Fire? Like,
right?
I'm sitting there going, the connections.
I don't remember what happened in Fire.
I was going to say, actually, if they could have left all of Lek out of Fire, I would have been happy, but then we wouldn't have his backstory.
Yeah, I think we need to stop talking about the other books, though. Let's not spoil it.
For me, because I don't remember.
For Kristin. But oh my god. But yeah, do you guys have like you ladies actually have a favorite scene?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Kristin! For God's sake, or multiple favorites, because I want to know. I have two favorites, and they're pretty much in the kind of like the same vein. Should I mention them?
Let me find the page. Hold on. I'll find the page.
So
mine is when she found out about his grace.
Yeah, that's
that whole dynamic and how their feelings came to the forefront during that without voicing that their feelings came to the forefront.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really good.
Page 435, when the reunion happens. Because reunions are my shit.
I pull my book out.
I will put up with any amount of stupidity in separating characters if I get a good reunion scene.
Yeah.
I strongly disagree. The angst of the separation kills me.
Yes.
It makes the reunion so much better.
One scene? Oh, yeah, that's why reunions are so good, because you get that complete
I don't know if it's worth it
If we're
for
talking
me.
one scene of reunion,
It was
Yeah,
a good
it's so
reunion,
good.
though.
Mhm.
How did he
I'm
manage
an
to make
84.
his resurrection from an icy grave sexy like that? Like literally, how did he do that?
timing, Christine.
Oh my
the timing. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, he could have done it earlier, and he was waiting until he came up with the
Yes.
perfect line. Like, you
He
know,
was like, I'm gonna make this so good. I think
I
like
can
my
just see
two
him like
favorite
just standing there
scenes-
like watching them argue.
Oh my god.
So that was the end of my
Same.
thought.
I think my like two favorite scenes are definitely when she stands up to Randa
Mm.
for the first time in the throne room. That's such a good one. And honestly, like when she kills Nick. Let's just get out with it. Honestly,
Yeah.
you
like
just
when
like her destroying the patriarchy is what you like.
yes, exactly. It's what I like.
It's a solid win.
What
Yeah.
I like. It's my shit. So yeah, when she's like,
Oh.
you know what? You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna nudge that arrow. I'm gonna dodge it. I'm gonna grab the knife. I'm gonna throw it. I was like, oh my god.
That was
Oh
pretty
my
hot.
God. I remember
Mhm.
I remember being like 14 or 15 years old and just being like, I want to be her when I grow up. Like,
Exactly.
she's so good. And then when she says like when the narration says in the end Lex should have stuck to his lies because the
Yes.
truth killed him. That is so good. And then
Oh.
she's like,
Such a
shoots
good
his
quote.
wife. Oh,
What a
it's
line.
amazing. It's
What
so
a
good.
line.
It's so good. And yes,
I
this
like
entire
when
series.
Roar stood up to Katza
Yes.
when he basically put her in her place and was like,
That
okay,
was
just
funny.
shut up. And
That
this
was-
is
yeah,
why
that
you're
was
going to
so
have guards
funny.
with you. And
Yeah.
just do what you need to do.
Yeah, that was definitely funny. Roar is definitely also a character that I kind of like in a
I
weird parent way. Like I'm just like, oh, Roar.
I don't know.
Actually, the entire like the entire royal lineage family, I just love them all
Family?
so much.
Yeah.
Like Sky, he's just I love him. Just all of them. They're
Little
so good.
goofball Sky.
Yes.
Little goofy boy.
Mhm.
So my favorite scene is definitely when she's like, oh, but like if we get together, then like I'm tied down to you, and like I don't want to be that way. And he's like, you know, like there's like alternatives to like that kind of relationship. Like we could explore different options. And I was like, represent.
Right.
Like,
It's so good.
yeah, and I think that's really important representation to have. So I really appreciate that. But I also
Super validating.
very validating. Yeah. I also like any scene with Bitter Blue where she's just like,
Oh my god.
she's so funny. I didn't remember
I
how
love
funny
her
she
so
was.
much. And I love yes, like I remember enjoying her character like the first time that I read the book, but now I was rereading it and I was just like, she is so amazing. Like
Yeah.
who is this little badass queen
It's just
lady?
like so many good women.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes, that's what I
Yes.
like about this series. They're all just so amazing.
And then the only great man is like super feminine. So
It just goes to show.
Yes,
super feminine.
honestly, but also he's like the complete opposite of like toxic masculinity and also the complete opposite of all of the other male characters. So that's why he's really like shining through and we love him for
Which
it.
is so rare in YA literature, I think. Like you don't
Yes.
like a lot of the male love interests in YA literature are not that like self-assured and like
Also super toxic. Emotional manipulation is the game.
right? And
Yeah.
Poe's just like
Whatever,
I think it shows
girl.
different cultures that way. Because most of the people in Leonid, most of the men in Leonid seemed that way, seemed like Poe. But then when you travel around to the other places, they all seemed like Randa and Gideon.
More like
and
Randa.
I mean, but that's realistic, right? Like if somebody was raised right, like that would be true.
yeah.
They're socialized, the socialization is consistent. But you don't get to see examples of that in real life.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I just could not. the minute that they started talking over her when she's sitting there going like, it's perfectly fine. Like, I started the fight. I just wanted to like murder Gideon. I was just like, she's saying she's fine. Why are you not listening to her?
Oh my god, yeah, that whole scene just pissed me off so bad. And then Poe is just like, I'm sorry, like I had to do it. I'm sorry. Like he wouldn't just let it go. So I was just like, okay, Poe, like I forgive you, but also Gideon, can you be pushed under a cart? Like, oh my god. Well, no, because I want you to have your glow up, obviously, because he really does change, and I love that about the series. But also in that moment, I would have slapped the shit out of him. Oh my god.
See, I think that's why I like Gideon, because I think I mentioned to you guys, like, he reminds me of my dad. My dad's almost 80 years old. So he's got, like, so many old-fashioned thoughts. Like, the first minute I got my tattoo, he was like, you know, women who get tattoos are tramps. And I'm like, excuse me? Well, you know, and I was like, well, thanks, Dad. And, like, and it took him a step back. And then my niece got a bunch. So he's starting to take steps back. And he's like, well, that's just you modern-day kids now. You know, and he's took a step back from that's what a tattoo means on a woman. And he's slowly changing, even as he's, like I said, almost 80. So the fact that Gideon starts out not even as bad as Randa and some of the people that he grew up around, but he wasn't even that bad to begin with. But slowly, once we get to the other books, he's learned a lot.
The way he talks to Katza in that proposal scene, though, I'm just like reminding me that my father is not a good thing to do right now in my life and where I am.
For real. Like, this is not what I'm here for, definitely.
That's part of why it did bother me so much, because I have been talked to and talked over like that.
I've never understood that, like that trope where it's like women looking for their father, because I specifically look for different kind of men. Even though, like, I love my dad, I love my stepdad, but like, excuse me, there's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing else.
I think that shows like health. I think what's his name? Freud? Mr. Health.
Like, sorry, I was gonna say, when I was younger and less aware of like my father's faults and the things that I would not tolerate in my own marriage, I was like, obviously my dad's like the best guy out there, And then as I got older and started to realize how my parents disrespect me as a person and how it's different from how they treat my brother sometimes, I started to realize like I would not do well in a marriage with someone like my father.
No, for sure.
I barely am doing well being his daughter.
Oh my god, did I feel that?
But also, like, I think it's like a really interesting conversation in a way. Like, it's so frustrating because like we all recognize it, obviously. Like, we all see it. We all see someone talking to us like that. And I love that Kristin Cashore in 2008 was like, you know what? That's not okay. You do whatever you want. You tell him to go screw himself, and you leave with the hot guy, and you go on an adventure.
Yeah.
Like,
and you fuck him, no commitments, if that's what you want, baby.
Exactly.
Live your best life.
And he didn't try to convince her. Poe didn't.
No,
you'll be fine once you have a kid. And Gideon's over here like, oh, you want them. I'm like,
space for someone. No. It's effective.
Exactly.
What a surprise!
Wow. And
no
yes,
expectations.
Definitely one of the things that I love the most about Poe and Katza is that they're both so respectful of the other's needs. Like, they're always so understanding of whatever they want. Like,
and the communication.
Yes, the communication is so beautiful between them. And like at the end, when Katza is like, you know, I don't want to leave, but if being alone is what you need, then I will leave. I was like, oh, like it hurts, but it's also
that's
so
a powerful
good
move, though. That's
because
like really difficult to do.
Yeah, because you really see that with Poe. Like, Poe is always like, you know, we do whatever you want, and like it's okay. Like, if you want to go your own way, it's fine. But then you see Katza doing that when he's like, and he's the only person that she's ever truly loved. So seeing her being like, it's okay. Like, if you want to be alone and everything, like it's so beautiful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I really, really love that.
Or like the opposite, when he tells her that he knows she can go, but he would like her to stay.
Yeah,
like that moved me too.
Yeah, that's beautiful, definitely. And she's like, I'll stay as long as you want me to stay. And I was just like, oh, yeah.
He's like giving her space, but also it
Exactly.
how he feels. So, literally, like, just kill me.
And that's like, and it's so funny that we're all dying over this because that's like the bare minimum, right?
Bro,
We're all
there's
dying.
one good man in a book series, and we're all fucked.
So,
But the thing is, this is the complete opposite of the miscommunication trope that is in like every book.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You're so
Definitely.
right.
I hated
Oh
that.
my god. Yeah.
I hate that. It's like that's one of my least favorite writings. Like, what are you doing?
It's true.
I
It's like
know.
if you guys just had one conversation, the plot would be over.
Yep.
Exactly. Oh my god, that's so annoying. That's one of the reasons why I often have trouble reading like strictly romance books because it happens so many times. I'm just like, oh my god.
They have to really sell it and build it because, like, I can see myself having a miscommunication with someone and not wanting to talk about it, but you have to really establish
exactly
that insecurity is there.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I would not have done well with Poe because he's so direct, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. This is confrontation. This kind of maybe possibly could in some way be confrontation. I need to be not here. I will be back when you're not mad.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But you have to build that. You have to show that that insecurity is there. And a lot of the time they're just like, there's this big blow up and you don't see why they're not talking to the other person. It's just like, I don't want to talk to the other person.
That like emotional guidance, but like in the text.
Yeah, I was going to say, Get a Life, Chloe Brown does it really well, where there's a miscommunication between the two of them. And because of their trauma, they're both very hesitant to reapproach each other. Well, she told him to leave, so he just kind of like, no, okay, I'll stay away. But like, it takes her a while to like.
No, absolutely.
Fix it.
And I like that too. That in this book, she writes weaknesses in all the characters. Like she doesn't shy away. Katza's not perfect. Poe's not perfect.
Yes, he is.
Bitter Blue, while amazing, is a 10-year-old little girl and weak. You know.
Right.
She gives them all a fault. She gives them all issues they have to overcome. Like she writes just characters so well.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but actually, what is Poe's fault?
He has to hide his grace, which is basically.
But that's not
lying,
his fault.
Like Katha said, it's giving you eventually understand him.
That's okay. So I see what Chrissy's saying. So it's not a weakness like a character flaw. It's a weakness that holds him as a character back. I would say Poe's flaw is more his pride a little bit because he didn't want to tell Katza that he was blind.
Yeah, true.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
But also that's like super traumatic.
I have to
at the
object.
same time, like
I understand
it's hard to talk about it.
He's grieving it, but at the same time, it's like if he had a fault, that would be it. And then him not wanting to tell everyone else is simply him not wanting to reveal his grace, which would completely change his life and complicate everything.
But a form of ableism involved because it is dangerous for him in some regard, right?
That's true.
Absolutely.
What I picked up on that, and I did want to talk about this for sure, because I took a lot of issues actually to Katza's reaction to Poe's grace. I was like, are you
Poe's grace?
And I was so mad at her actually. Like it's one of the reasons why she's not up there for me compared to the other characters. Yeah, because like if we think about the setting of this world, I think we can draw a kind of a comparison between like the Graces and like queer identity. Or like different abilities in that sense. And like literally she freaking goes off on him like he's some kind of liar, like he's like hidden from her, like he's trying to like trap her or something. And I was like,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I picked up on that too.
I was a little annoyed by how long she took it.
Yeah,
it almost made me
a little too long. But I think Katza was just scared. She didn't like anybody intruding in her mind. She didn't like anybody tying her down. She was very fearful.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
traumatized
understand
reaction
that.
definitely, but like what the real life consequences, the real time consequences is that someone like Poe is like
Could be
invalidated.
killed.
Yeah.
Like, could be killed. Like, he faced
Exactly.
very real violence if he found out, and like she was gonna tell people at first, and
Mhm.
she
Yeah,
was like, "You liar! You hid this from me." And he's like, "I did not hide it from you. Like, I didn't feel I could trust you yet." Like,
yes, that's it.
So-
And
had a
I mean,
right to.
at the first time, I feel like, you know, she's saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell everyone," out of anger, and the fact that she doesn't like act on it
Yeah.
is a good thing, obviously. But yeah,
That's
I
what I
agree that
thought.
like her reaction is very,
It was
very
overblown.
intense. Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
Like,
It's difficult to like
the
excuse
initial
how
bit
much.
I understood. Oops, sorry, I was gonna say the initial bit I understood because she felt violated. But then when he sat down and
Yeah.
explained it, I was like, okay, ma'am, you need to back it up a step.
Yeah, please calm down. Yeah, exactly. That's it. I totally understand like being really freaked out by somebody being able to read your thoughts, but also like, yeah, when he explained it and everything, I think it's also because she's super impulsive, obviously. Like, that's one of her character traits, so she immediately went straight to anger. But once he explained it, I think we see that like she slowly starts to understand and get used to it.
what were you saying,
Well, and
Sonia?
it could also be part of her
Should've been
grace.
faster.
Self-preservation and someone can read your thoughts is got to fight against each other. Like, her grace is self-preservation, but now there's someone who, before he explains his grace all the way, knows your inner thoughts. Well, that's going to compromise your safety.
Yeah, true. What were you saying, Sorila?
Yeah, so I've been noticing, like, I really enjoy, like, different forms of media, and one, like, kind of, like, social pattern I've noticed is this idea of, like, pitting the, like, more vulnerable against the less vulnerable, and kind of, like, what the social responsibility holds in that moment, and I really think, like, it's difficult to discount like what's going on because she is having a very traumatized reaction. Like you said, she feels violated, she feels betrayed. Those are all like very real feelings for her. But it sucks because like the real world parallel is people actually die, people are actually abused, you know, every single day. So I'm glad we get to see it like where she doesn't do that, but
And where she ends up defending him
like,
against that secret being spilled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, for sure. I think you're right. It's very important to think about that too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm like tying what
And I
to
like
what
that also his grace.
Clear identity.
What did you say, Soila?
I also like that his grace is partially what saved him from Lek. So it shows that people who are differently abled, people who are looked down upon, like his grace is looked down upon, actually came in really good handy, or there would have been no end to this book. They would have been gone.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking about a question and then I forgot.
What was Sahela gonna say?
Yeah, what were you going to say?
It is totally okay because I've also forgotten. So
okay. All good. All good. All right. I'm trying to think about what I wanted to say and I forgot.
About the favorite scenes, I forgot to mention this, but I particularly, for some reason, the scene where like Katza takes Bitter Blue like over the impasse is just it just really stands out to me. That's where I learned so much about Katza, and like seeing her survival grace like in action. And the way the relationship between her and Bitter Blue, super dope. Like I love it.
Yes.
Oh my god, me too. I love
One of
like
my faves.
we've talked a lot about the relationship between Katza and Poe, but I think that another very, very important relationship is Katza and Bitter Blue is so meaningful and so good. And you see like Bitter Blue slowly warming up to her and slowly like bantering with her. Like that part is so good. Like when Katza is like, "Oh, you can like kill a man by like pushing into his eyeballs." She's like, "That's disgusting." Like I love that Bitter Blue is such like a little queen,
authentic,
like, without being like really a queen at that point. But she's just like, I'm not gonna do that. Like I love her so much.
Yeah, the self.
No, she said, and I screenshotted it. She said, I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. I'm just saying it's disgusting.
Right.
I love you.
So opinionated, and so like sure of herself. Like it's just so good to see. I love her.
Can we talk about
She
how
also pays good attention to details because she's the one who saw something in Poe's eyes before Katza understood what was going on.
Definitely. Yeah. She's so smart. What were you going to say, Margaret?
Oh, I was going to say, can we talk about how easily that could have been a very boring scene going over those mountains, and Kristin Cashore managed to put to structure it so that you're sitting there and you're on the edge of your freaking seat as you're doing that?
Yeah.
Yes, that whole part is so good. I think I underlined some parts, and I think I underlined like literally the entire thing because I was like, oh my god, this is so good.
It really is.
I don't own this book, so I couldn't underline anything.
Oh no!
I have a Kindle, so I have like so many things highlighted.
Oh my god, that's the best. That's so good.
I think I just mostly screenshotted Poe and then funny shit that Bitterblue said. Which is so funny.
I think that like one of the things that people who haven't read that series don't know is how incredibly perfect the humor is in this entire trilogy. It's so good. Like I remember one line that always cracks me up is when Raffin is like trying his like thing for the stop, and like he's like, Katza, like he says something to Katza that she doesn't like, and she just turns around and she's like, "Your hair is blue." Like, just, I love it so much.
She does not care.
Yes, and I love it so much. Like Raffin also is one of my favorite characters because he's just like a tall, lanky, soft boy, like scientist. I love him.
Gay lab assistant. We love it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
it was like amazing
with blue hair. Like,
but yeah, oh my god, yes. That scene always cracks me up. Also when Poe is like, only you would consider the ceiling falling on our heads a good joke. Like it's so good. It's just so good because like you really get to know those characters because of how close they are to one another and how they banter. And I think that's such a strength to that writing. Like that's why I love the dialogue so much personally, because I think it really gives like the entire atmosphere and the entire vibe and all of that. So beautiful.
Yeah, and the coronation scene when Roar is sitting in front of them and Raffin and Van are talking about how the stomach ache makes your feet itch, and the itchy feet cure makes your stomach ache, and Katza's just dying, and Roar turns around and tries to shush him, and everybo's like, oh wait, we can't shush a king.
Sorry,
I laugh every time.
It's so good.
So I can just imagine this mountain of a man in front turning around to shush this prince of another kingdom and his gay lab assistant. And then all of a sudden everybody's trying to shush the mountain of a man who actually is a king and also the uncle of the woman who's being queened.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god. It's so good.
It's
wow.
Great.
I also really like the scene when Katza's in the ship with the captain and she pulls out the ring and it just dissolves into chaos.
Can we talk about that captain though? Can I have her backstory? Can I be?
That's what I said. Oh my god, we need another book about her.
I know, right? It's so good. I wish. You know what? I think she might be in Winterkeep. Can you imagine if she's in Winterkeep?
Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
Oh yeah, because they're going on a ship.
They are. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
That, by the way,
full circle.
Did somebody go tell her she can come back to land now?
Yeah, they said
She's floating out in the ocean.
They definitely did.
They did. They mentioned it. That was their first stop once Katza and Roar and all of them decided to leave. They're like, we gotta go get the captain and then we're gonna go to Monty.
Yeah, just them just like turning in circles and so they got told. They're fine. Oh my god.
The fact that they were so willing to do that though, that was just like
yes,
wow,
that was so good.
That's some loyalty.
That's dedication to your kingdom and your new princess. like your new princess you don't even know.
Okay, but also, Poe's explanation for why he gave her that ring made me cry because I thought it could have been interpreted as like a romantic gesture, but then he's like, no, I just wanted to make sure you had a home if I died, and I was like,
I know.
And then part of the reason he was so bitter about being blind afterwards and not wanting to go back to his kingdom, like if I can't see you in it, I'm just like, oh, all right, I'm fine.
I know. My heart. Oh,
it was so good because it so easily could have been like, oh, never mind, Poe, I will marry you. Oh, okay. But no, it's like, no, man, I just wanted to make sure you had a real estate. Like, you had some security for the winter.
Okay, but that is romantic. Wanting to take care of your partner is always romantic.
Exactly.
Yeah, but without
But it
putting any
like
pressure on her. Yeah.
And also without being cheesy, like, oh, let me take the ring. Oh, will you marry me? Like, or
jokes are married now.
Yeah, no. We don't want that.
It's like, no, these are actually just the keys to my crash pad. Here you go.
I was actually so sad for her because the idea of marriage that she had been raised with was just so sad to me because that's not how it. I mean, I know that's how it was if you look at the contemporary kind of medieval setting, but like that's not how marriage is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a man owning a woman, at least not now. And I
will say though, she was very validating for me because I do fall like on the aromantic spectrum. So for me, like relationships are not gonna be typical, and it's confusing because like you're navigating a very heteronormative world and you don't know what you want to do with people. Like I want to connect with people, but like I just don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's like I can do that.
Yes, I agree. Like there were a couple of times that like a couple of Katza quotes. I should have actually written them down, but I was just like, "A script."
Like, oh my god! Like I'm calling it.
Well, when you think about their relationship, like they love each other very deeply, but they are more like friends.
Like it's very queer, because it's not like straightforward. Like it's not entirely platonic, it's not entirely romantic, but they are like very connected, very much like hard eyes for each other, so it's cute.
Right, like I die for you, I trust you more than anything, but like do I want to wake up next to you every single morning for the rest of my life? God, no. Like,
see how I feel tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm gonna go teach women how to kill men for
my god, yes.
Come back and then we can talk for months and that'll be
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Oh my god, I remember reading that part also when I was like 14, 15 and being like, please teach me how to use a sword.
Right?
I want her to be my teacher, please.
Bitter Blue constantly asking to learn.
Oh, just Bitter Blue in general.
Yeah. Bitter Blue and that knife as big as her arm, though. Just
my god.
Oh, you're so cute, and I just want to protect you. And then Katza goes and protects her and teaches her how to use a knife, and it's all fine.
I know. And I just, I love her so much. I find her so precious. And yet at the same time so aware of like who she is and what she wants, and it's just like the first thing that she asked them is just like, can you kill my dad, please? Like
she was like emotionally more intelligent than Katza for sure.
She was down.
What's going on? And Bitter Blue's like, okay, like so this is what's happening. Like we got it. We can do this. We can do this.
Right? She's so good. She's so good. And oh my god, I love when we see her like when she's all grown up. Well, not all grown up. She's like, what, 17 in Bitter Blue or something like that? But like, she's so
10 years later.
So good.
Can we talk about how what a bad sign it is when your child refers to you by your first name? Like something else had to have, like, I don't think he ever got fully to where he was molesting her, but there definitely had to be something else that had happened that she was so just like, no, he's get rid of him.
Well, yeah, it sounds like the mom protected her, but
I think it's definitely, it's kind of explained, you know, like in Bitter Blue, like there are a lot of things that happen behind the scene that we didn't get to see. I don't want to like mention them because I don't want to spoil anyone that might be watching, but there's definitely a reason why. And I mean, she knows so much more than what he thought she knew because she's smarter than he was. So yeah, definitely.
And very observant.
Yes. Oh my god. so observant, and that's a big part of Bitter Blue too. Like she's so like in the third book, I mean, she's so good with clues. And like this, the entire book is like centered around this idea of like ciphers and clues and stuff like that. So it really, really fits with her character, which I like.
Actually, that's a reason I wish we would have got to see her mother a little more, because I would have liked the scene where she got that from in this book, because it kind of seemed like your dad is Lex, so Jesus, you know. So where did your survival mechanisms come from? Where did your mindset come from? Where did all this come from? When, for one, your mom didn't let you see your father as much as possible. Number two, God, look who your father is.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's why
he became
Kristin
such a
Cashore,
strong human being.
Yeah, I think that's why Kristin Cashore had to write Bitter Blue, because her story was definitely not over. I mean, obviously. So yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm so looking forward to rereading that one.
King Lex's daughter? Good lord. I've read Bitter Blue before. I just zero recollection.
That's
well,
me with everything but the Percy Jackson series.
Oh well, we're gonna reread it together, so it's gonna be like so much fun. Oh my god,
I'm
I
excited.
can't wait. But yeah, if we come back to like actual Graceling, did you have like anything else that you wanted to discuss? Yes.
I'm sure I'll think about it. I thought my main points out.
What were they?
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I could probably
You
go
know,
through
they
We
them.
already discussed.
There was a part in the epilogue, I believe, where Katza actually mentioned to Poe that people are going to look at them weird with their relationship, and he was basically like, and so what?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the fact that she was the one who wanted this relationship, and she was the one worried about how people were going to look at it, and he was like, and we're going to go do our thing anyway.
Yeah. Poe's definitely bisexual, right? Like we all got that. Like we all got up on that. Okay, cool.
We all got those vibes. We all got those vibes.
Yeah, I was like, this is not a straight man speaking.
I think there are definitely more queer people, queer characters in this entire cast that we like have like officially. I feel like it's definitely possible to see them and be like,
Yeah. I think it's safe to assume that they are not necessarily
when I read this in January, I didn't get the feeling from Raffin that I got from him second time reading it, and now you guys saw that I quoted like, I really hope in this new book it's King Raffin and his king consort. Like I really hope she dives into that.
Yes, oh my god, I hope she does.
Little nerdy Ban over there. I think fucking so cute. Just like, yes, this one does science. I am keeping him.
That's a logical like conclusion and like process to it.
Tony Stark and Bruce Banner could never.
No,
you're right. You're right. Call him out.
They're not even half as iconic.
This is the real science bro shit.
Yes.
One thing I did want to bring up.
Yes.
Is like, if thinking about if Graceling had been written today, what do you think about Katz's representation for the neurodivergent? Like, I got a lot of vibes that she could have been autistic. Yeah,
she's definitely spectrum, right?
Yeah. So, like, I'm just listening to how she's reacting to like sights and noises and textures and that kind of stuff, and going, I have friends that feel that like they talk about this and this affecting them. So it was really interesting to like. I don't think she is autistic.
Part of that is her social processing too.
Yeah, like her social. That's interesting. I didn't think
I was thinking that hardcore. Like, definitely picked up on that as well, Margaret.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Cool. That's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. You know, there's going to be a graphic novel coming out, which is
wow.
My day just got better.
I get to know what Poe looks like.
The visual representation of my dreams.
Yes, I don't know.
I was about to say, don't screw that up. Don't screw that up.
Right. For sure.
Don't whitewash him.
It's no, but it's done with the collaboration of Kristin Cashore. Like she did it with the person.
Kristin Cashore illustrated it.
Yeah, but I mean, the reason why we got people of color on the new US covers is because of Kristin Cashore, because she was just like, I hated that they whitewashed Fire. So
Yeah.
there's hope.
Mm.
So yeah. But yeah, I'm excited.
Never too late
read
to
that.
make some stylistic choices, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stylistic.
Oh, let's hope not. Let's hope not. I have faith. Oh my god. But yeah,
So
was there
I have
anything else?
I have a note here.
Yes.
I was just gonna say I have a note here for saying that she pulled a Lizzie Bennett and fell in love with the house first. Like, you can hear him describing that castle and her going,
Wow.
Oh,
The
well,
ocean.
that put things in perspective.
"You live by the sea?"
Oh,
That's me. If somebody's like, I also have an oceanside property, I'm like, oh my god. Well, have you heard? Like, I'm available. I love the ocean.
Oh my
You can come
god.
to Florida, Christine. It's all oceanside here.
And just call me Seahawk.
Oh my god. Not again. Oh my god. But yeah. All right. So do we want to keep on going? Because it's been an hour. I don't know what your schedule is looking like for everyone.
I don't have.
I unfortunately do have to go just because I have to like feed myself. I work overnights and I haven't eaten yet.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important.
Still haven't had my breakfast.
That's definitely important. But I think we covered most of the things we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
dates for the
Clearly,
next
there were other
one,
things they weren't
Oh
going
yeah.
yes, let's talk about the date for the next one.
which is on my channel.
Yes, exactly. So
And
we
Grace
will
on Fire.
so we will basically start reading Fire on Monday if you want to
Immediately.
start reading it with us. So yeah, we're gonna start reading Fire, and then the live show for this one will be on December 19th on Kristine's channel. So same time,
Probably, yeah.
probably.
Unless there's
we'll-
like an exception.
of something. So we'll update everybody on social media, and we'll talk to all of you after this live show to see if you want to join us again. But yeah, I think
Do we
that's
have a
it.
chapter breakdown?
A chapter breakdown?
Oh, like how many
per day?
you read per day?
Oh no, I
I'm
didn't do that.
going to read 100% of it by December 19th.
Yeah, exactly. Basically,
Okay. I'll do that.
Excellent.
Okay,
that's,
cool.
that's the goal.
curious.
That's the goal. All right. So, well, thank you so much for joining us for this first live show for the Graceling Along. I'm so happy that we got to do this. I'm so happy that we're reading this series because it's just absolutely amazing. And
Really
it's
holds
been
up.
such a great time. We've had such a lovely discussion. So, thank you all so much, and we'll see you on December 19th on Kristine's channel for Fire. So, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.